Is this a better angle? So, hi and Jesus. And I really hope that the mic works. I am repeating words. Damn it! No! No! What? It only seems fitting that I record at least one last video before the year comes to an end, and this video is about that. Before I begin, a few disclaimers. I'm shooting this video in my apartment, which overlooks a very busy street of Paris, so there might be a lot of background noise. This mic is not of the best quality, but I'm doing my best. I'm recording it on my laptop and it looks horrible, but I really hope that you can all hear what I'm about to say, right? Right. I started the channel Snapshots of a Year earlier this year as a way to record my journey throughout the year, and as the bio would tell you, that I'm a full-time content manager who was trying to tell you some personal stories through cooking videos as well as some photography montages. And over the course of the last 1 year, to be very honest, I have not been able to continue with making as many videos as I would have wanted, because I think the last video I uploaded was in July when I really had something interesting to say, and after that I simply did not. And I'm not going to give you the excuse that life got busy, which it did, and a lot of things changed, a lot of stuff happened, I moved rooms, and I'm finally in a place where I feel like this could be a good starting point. You know, when you have spent a considerable amount of time collecting all your resources, putting in the work, ensuring that you have all the arms and the armor so that you can finally get back into the ground and start working, I'm at that place and I'm pretty happy. And this last video is of course going to be a small wrap up of all the content that I have worked on so far, and moving forward I think I'm going to take the channel a bit more towards a new angle, something that is not as personal but also reflects work that I really like to do, and it will involve a lot more about photography, a lot more about video making. But before getting into all of that, I think I'll do a quick review of what the channel has gone through, what I have created so far, what I thought was actually very good, and I'm gonna maintain that style, and style that I'm literally gonna shove up out of this. I forgot how to talk back then. Style that actually worked for me, that I actually liked, and style that I'm not going to continue again because it no longer works for me. And that being said, let's take a look back at Snapshots of a Year, the trailer of 2024. Now I'm just hungry. Is it recording? So, as I mentioned before, my videos can be divided into 3 key themes: food, photo montages, and personal stories. Now, while all the videos can come under these 3 umbrella themes, going forward I will probably not work with food anymore, because disclaimer, my kitchen isn't that great anymore. So, but yeah, whenever I find a sunny kitchen, I'm gonna make videos about food. So, talking about the theme of food, if you look at some of the first videos that I made, they lack a few stuff. For example, this particular video about past the transformation, it clearly lacks a storyline. Yeah, of course, I am setting the stage that last night we had something left over and we were trying to create something, but there is no connection with the audience whatsoever. Some of the shots are nice, but at the end of the day, as long as the audience themselves don't feel like they belong to the story, they are not gonna go through that. Which I feel was pretty well addressed in a later video, which was on day 12, where I'm doing a video about a typical Bengali lunch. What I like about this video is that it's very authentic. It not only tells you a bit about where I come from, a bit about my culture and heritage, but it also gives you history, and at the same time it gives you a very short run through of the entire recipe, which I think people can try at home. But then again, this is not a typical recipe video. This is more of an informative video, but shot in a way that, you know, evokes nostalgia. I mean, if you look at the color grading of this particular video and also the way I was playing around with the natural light in our house, the very vintage tinge, it kind of gives you a sense of remembrance, which most of us immigrants as well as expats, we feel about our home every time we think about, well, let's just say food particularly, right? Talking about food, it brings me to the second theme, which are photo montages. And to be quite honest, that's a theme I'm really going to explore in 2025. I think one particular photo montage that I absolutely enjoyed shooting was the one about my hometown Siliguri, because of course it's close to my heart. And when I went back home in April this year, in 2024, I was, for the very first time, I actually took a solo photo walk around the city. And all the shots that you see were either taken while I was walking or while I was on one of the totos. So here's a picture of the toto. Yeah. And what I also started realizing that when you take photographs like that, when you create photo montages like that, they sort of act like a time capsule. There is so much that used to happen in Siliguri that doesn't happen anymore, and they have been replaced by new things which we all knew were coming, but maybe people like me, we weren't there to see it happen. Now that we are there, we see it. For example, totos particularly, we used to have rickshaws, and as you can see, these are what rickshaws were like. But now, majority of people, when they talk about public transportation in Siliguri, they use totos, right? And talking about photo montages acting as a time capsule, something that was very personal to me was the one I did about Papa, where I don't just explore my relationship with him, but I try to trace his lifetime. Right when he left Bangladesh, he fled to India, then he made friends, he went to college, he got married, etc. So I feel that photo montages can be an extremely strong way to tell a story. That's because these particular projects clearly have a beginning, a middle and an end, three components of any storylines. And at the same time, because I used to post a lot of photographs on Instagram, which really plays up with your dimensions and formats, I feel putting them in a video slider, sort of like short films, can be a very interesting method of exploring this particular genre. And that brings me to the final one, which was about personal stories. This particular genre is a bit confusing for me because honestly, I was basically sharing some mental health issues. For example, there's a video about insomnia, there are videos about anxiety, and also about overcoming grief, etc. But what I found quite interesting while making these videos was how I was visualizing each mental state. For example, if you look at this particular video about insomnia, I tried to create the video in an animated format, although I'm not an animator, so I'll have to admit I took a shortcut here and I shot it on the camera, but I created the video on a software. And that's why you can see that it has this animation style that's kind of blurry, it's not very clear, which also kind of exemplifies how a person feels when they are going through insomnia, because the line between reality and dreams, they sort of disappear, they dissipate. And this style was also inspired quite a bit from Richard Linklater's movie Waking Life, which is one of my favorite movies, where a guy who is also suffering from insomnia to such an extent that he completely loses touch with his reality, and he starts seeing visions where on one hand he sees movie characters who are interacting in front of him but he's not engaged in the interaction, or his friends are trying to talk to him, etc. That's why making this video was very interesting for me, because I myself was in a very dreary state that day. And the second video, for which a lot of people actually told me that they really loved it, was a video about spring and new beginning. I mean, it's actually a beautiful video because the day was sunny, it was beautiful outside, everything looked really nice, and that's why the shots also came out really nice. And I went to sort of a playground near my house to make a few videos there. But yeah, I don't really take a lot of credit for this video except for maybe how the dialogue writing went here. I feel the dialogue writing here was quite honest, and that is also another style that I would try to stick to as much as possible. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video, the last video of the year, and I have to say that this has been quite an interesting year. I think in one of the videos I say that winter is a time of reflection, and it indeed is. And while some days are sunny, some are rainy, and some have snow in them, I must say that this winter has been quite a good one, and I really hope that you guys had a good winter too. I know there are a lot of things going around us which do not qualify as human, and I know that a lot of you are doing everything you can to help in the situation. That being said, as we look forward to 2025, I hope that all you creators out there will create a lot of beautiful stuff, a lot of stuff that inspires me a lot, to be honest. And all you beautiful people out there who have been supporting me in this journey, I love you guys to the moon and back. And although it's a few of you, I will keep making videos for you guys. And this year, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to be posting more regularly, which also means I'm going to be focusing a lot more on quality. So even if I do not create, let's say, 50 videos in a year, I'll at least aim to post once or twice a month. That way, I'm hoping that there will be content that is a lot more concrete, that is of higher quality, and adds some value to what you usually consume. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for being on this journey with me. You have been so nice. It is so good to be again with you guys. And that being said, have a very happy new year. Enjoy your parties. Do not be nasty, but have a lot of fun. You know what I mean. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the brand new year. Au revoir, bisous.